Headed for a good time tonight. Aha! Headed for a good time tonight. Wahoo! Gonna hear my favorite country band with my favorite country man, and we're headed for a good time tonight. Aha! Now that's country. I'm Penelope, your host, and today we're doing a show honoring the memory and life and music of Jimmie Rogers, the father of country music. Jimmie Rogers was born in 1897, and he recorded his first record in 1927 when he was 30 years old. And right during the Depression, it became a hit, and he sold millions of records, and he became the first country music star. And so I have four guests: Otis Roy, Babe Sims, Lee Dacus, and Carl Walden, and they all know about Jimmie Rogers' life, and they can all play and sing his songs, and they've agreed to come here and tell us why they believe that Jimmie Rogers touched so many hearts. And so I'm going to start with Otis Roy. Otis came to me about 8 years ago. He was dressed just like he's dressed now, and he says, "I'm Otis Roy, the Pomona Blue yodeler, and I imitate Jimmie Rogers." And I thought, who is Jimmie Rogers? So for the next 8 years, he proceeded to tell me. So, Otis, I'm going to ask you to come up here and sing one of my favorite Jimmie Rogers tunes, and it's called Peach Pickin' Time in Georgia.
Okay. Yodelay-o, yodelay-o, yodelay. When it's peach picking time in Georgia, apple picking time in Tennessee, cotton picking time in Mississippi, everybody picks on me. When it's roundup time in Texas, the cowboys make for pay. Then down in old Alabama, it's girl picking time for me. Yodelay, oh yodelay, yodelay. There's a bluegrass down in Kentucky, Virginia, where they do the swing. Carolina mountain come, you to steal your train. Arkansas, I hear you calling, I know I'll see you soon. Peach picking time in Georgia, peach picking time. Oh, now when hard times overtake, I hope they don't get me, for I'm trying to see this lady on me down in Tennessee. I know I'm going to see her, I hope it won't be long. There's where we pick a little cabin, call it our mountain home. When the cotton pickers pick the cotton, I'll pick a wedding ring. We will go to town and pick a little gown for the wedding in the spring. I hope the preacher knows his business. I know he can't fool me. When it's peach picking time in Georgia, it's girl picking time for me. Yodelay, yodelay, oh yodelay, oh ho.
Otis, will you tell us when you first heard Jimmie Rogers?
I didn't think you'd ever ask. I was born in Arkansas, raised in Missouri, came from a sharecropping family of 13, and in Missouri, I was listening to an old-time radio in 1927. I got to listen to an unusual voice. I never heard anything like it. I said, hey, that's the kind of voice I kind of like. Then I listened more and more, and come to find out I liked his guitar playing. And I liked the way his runs he made. And his name was Jimmie Rogers. And that's when I met him in southeast Missouri.
Oh, will you tell him your story about your mom, you know?
Yes. Okay, we was cotton pickers, we were sharecroppers. you know. And my mother, I think she kind of liked Jimmie Rogers too, and she kind of took to it. And the family, a lot of family kind of says I was the pet. I don't think so. But anyway, she used to take me around behind the cotton wagon. Said, now don't let the other kids see you, because I don't want them to know just what you're doing, because your idol's coming to town not too long from now, and said, I want you to save up 30 cents so you can see him. She'd go around there, and she had one of these old-time gingham dresses, and she had a little old penny purse pinned inside on her, inside of her, it was kind of a gown, I guess. I don't know what they call them in those days, but anyway, it was really low down to her shoes. And she raised up her gown and picked that nickel or dime out and says, here, add that to your savings. It won't be long now, so you can start saving up for records, and then you can see Jimmie when he comes to town. So that's when I first saw him in southeast Missouri, better known as Charleston, Missouri.
Now, Otis, you can tell us why you're wearing those overalls.
Oh, I figured you'd get to that. I'm so happy. Well, you know, I was doing Jimmie Rogers songs. I started doing them before my retirement. My second career was Jimmie Rogers, titled Second Career. And so I was singing his songs, quite a few around different people. These two Jimmie Rogers guys here, Dacus and Carl Walden and Babe Sims. I was singing with them and doing the Jimmie Rogers songs, and some guy on the radio, he was kind of a friend. He says, say, he says, I want to know, I said, you're always doing Jimmie Rogers songs. He says, why don't you, I said, you're not dressed like him. I said, you like something. I said, what is it I like? He says, railroad cap and overalls. I said, overalls, here I come. So that's why I'm wearing these overalls.
How about doing a train song?
Oh, hey, that's great, thanks. All around the water tank, waiting for a train, 1,000 miles away from home, sleeping in the rain. I walked up to a brakeman, give him a line to talk. He says, have you got my name? I'll see that you don't know. I haven't got a nickel, not a penny can I show. Get off, you railroad bum. He slammed the boxcar door. Oh, the lady, daddy, oh, lady. If he takes us, tell him about it, buddy. Oh, Carl Walden. Put me off in Texas, a state I dearly love. The white open spaces all around me, the moon and stars above. Nobody seems to warn me or lend me a helping hand. I'm on my way from Frisco, I'm going back to Dixieland. So my pocketbook is empty and my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, just waiting for a train. Oh, the lady, daddy, oh, lady, hey, now let's go.
Well, Otis has been singing Jimmie Rogers tunes for 65 years now.
Yes, 64,
and he's
65.
been on Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 9, stop me.
All of them but 5.
All of them but 5, talking about his idol, Jimmie Rogers, and singing his songs. And now he's on our station. And in 1988, will you hand that to me, Otis, right down there, that plaque? In 1988, the California Country Music Association handed Otis this plaque, and it says, for your constant and relentless effort to keep the music and memory of Jimmie Rogers, our beloved father of country music, alive. We appreciate you, we applaud you. In so honoring you, we, officials of the MAA have caused our official seal and signature to be affixed. So here it is. This is an award for keeping Jimmie Rogers alive. And now I'm going to ask Otis to do, I think, one of the songs that probably got to the hearts of many of the people back in the Depression era when he was playing, and that's No Hard Times.
Right, right. Okay. Oh, the lady.
Wait a minute, aren't you going to tell them about it?
Yeah, I know. That's the key figure there.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. This was in 1929, he recorded this, and it was just really, really hard time, but he was a good-natured person. He says no hard times, so this is it, No Hard Times, by Jimmie Rogers, his own. Oh, the lady, oh, lady, oh, lady. I got a barrel of flour, Lord, I got a bucket of lard. I got a barrel of flour, Lord, I got a bucket of lard. I ain't got no blues, got chickens in my backyard. Oh, do lady, oh, lady, oh, got corn in my crib, cotton growing in my patch. Got corn in my crib, cotton growing in my patch. Got that old hen sitting, waiting for that old hen to hatch. Oh, the lady, Lee Dacus. Gonna buy my children a brand new pair of shoes. Gonna buy my children a brand new pair of shoes. I'm gonna quit singing these doggone hard time blues. I'm gonna hitch up my mule. I'm gonna take a hold of my line. I'm gonna hitch up my mule, take a hold of my line. I can't be bothered with all these old hard times. I'm gonna build me a shanty, Lord, I'm gonna settle down. I'm gonna build me a shanty, Lord, I'm gonna settle down. Gonna get me a corn-fed mama and quit that running around. Oh, I can make more money with my pick and plow. I can make more money with my pick and plow. With my one-eyed mule and a good old Jersey cow. Oh, the lady has a hard time. Hey, hey, now that's country, gal.
Yeah, that's country. Talk here to Babe. Babe has been a country musician for how many years in this area?
117.
117 years. And there's a rule here that if you're a country musician or a country appreciator,
Really, just 40 years.
that you have to know and love Babe Sims.
And we figured it up the other day. I'm 3 days older than Mount Baldy.
Well, Lee tells a story that if somebody comes in where you're playing and they say, hey, this is Jim, and then Jim disappears for 20 years, he walks in the door, you say, hi, Jim, where you been, old buddy?
What you been doing? Been doing all these years.
Listen, when did you first hear Jimmie Rogers?
Oh, in 1930, my brother run around with him. He used to come through my hometown, and Whitesburg's 13 miles from Gainesville, Texas, where I was raised. I was paralyzed, and I'd go down by the railroad track. They said, you better get over the railroad track. Jimmie Rogers in Whitesburg, 13 miles away, and it took half an hour to get there on the train. And he'd throw me half a dollars because he knew my brother. And I was the richest man in 7 counties.
I think I heard you playing about 6 years ago, and by that time, Otis had told me who Jimmie Rogers was, and I heard this yodeling, and I kind of followed over there, and you were playing California Blues. You want to play that for us now?
Could I say something?
Yeah?
He won at least 100 talent contests in the last 20 years.
Oh, my
Singing
gosh.
Jimmie Rogers songs.
Shish.
Dave Sims.
Where'd the money go? Kick it off and see, Claw. I got the California blues and can't even sleep at night. I got the California blues, I can't even sleep me right. My clothes are ragged and my woman don't treat me right. I would let it, oh, let it. Now listen to me, baby. I'll sing you a lonesome song. Listen to me, baby, sing you a lonesome song. It got me worried now, but I won't be worried long. Hey, I got the California blues, sure gonna leave you here. Tell the truth, I got the California blues, sure gonna leave you here. I might ride them blind, I ain't got no railroad fare. The old lady, oh, the old lady, oh, the lady. All right, Carl. Fabulous Carl Walden from Diamond Bar. That's not no drinking bar either, that's a building. How come you, woman, you treat me like you do? How come you, woman, treat me like you do? If you don't want me, woman, I damn sure don't want you. I got the California blues, sure gonna leave you here. I got the California blues, sure gonna leave you here. I may ride this line, I ain't got no railroad fare. The old lady, oh, the old lady, oh, the old lady, oh, lady, oh, the lady.
Now that's country. All right.
Country is cornbread. Had some buttermilk with it.
Well, Jimmie Rogers started performing in 1927.
Yeah.
And started recording in 1927.
Start recording then.
His
Yeah,
first song was Rock All Your Babies to Sleep, remember? His first song made $60.
Oh, but then pretty soon he was making $1,000
Oh, yeah, he
a
went
week.
around sticking $20 bills in people's pockets. Woo, Lord. $20 in means more than $150 now.
I think so.
I'd trade a dozen eggs for a package of gum at the grocery store. Can you imagine that? You ain't lived that kind, Carl.
Well, he already had TB when he started recording,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He said, one of his songs said, I know I do things I shouldn't do, and I know I should, but whiskey and the sunshine's the one that done me all the good. He didn't go to a doctor but just before he died. I'll tell you about that on our last song.
Okay, yeah. How about doing one of his last songs?
All right. He wrote this on
No.
the bed, laying in the bed, propped up, Carl. Didn't even have them. We didn't have them push-button beds.
Yeah.
Just barely did have cranks on them. And they kick off, kind of, well, put a little swing to it, Carl.
All right.
He wrote this 3 days before he died. I'm blue as I can be. That gal of mine, she's made a fool out of me. My life can be a failure, I can say. I don't want to be a daddy no more, no more, no more. Now maybe I'm right or wrong. I'm gonna leave old Chino for long. Break out that fence. And maybe I won't sing, and I won't sing and blues no more, no more, no more. Yodelady, oh, yodelady, oh, yodelady. All right, Carl. Man who plays all instruments, Carl Walden. Lord, I hate to say farewell to my mama and my sister-in-law Nell. They sure will cry when I fell. Well, I can't come home no more, no more, no more. I got my package in a grip. Yeah, it might take me a long, long ocean trip. I'm going out on the ship and going to Catalina here. And I won't sing them blues no more, no more, no more.
He went to New York in May 1933, and like you were saying, he had a bed put up in the recording studio. He wanted to do 12 songs, but he only did 6 before he died. And Otis, I know you know this song. It's the TB Blues. Can you do that one? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, stand.
Incidentally, that's what he died with, was a TB.
It's got a big word now. They call it tuberculosis.
And so anyway, I really feel that myself, all of his songs was kind of told a story of his life and other people's life of real common living. And this song that he recorded is just the same as doing his own eulogy in a song. So I'm going to sing this song, TB Blues. C. Go ahead. My good gal's trying to make a fool out of me. Lord, my gal trying to make a fool out of me. Trying to make me believe I ain't got that old TV. I got the TV. When it rained down sorrow, it rained all over me. When it rained down sorrow, it rained all over me. 'Cause my body rattled like a train on that old SD. I got the I got that old TV I can't hear by. I got that old TV I can't even buy. Got me worried so I can't even sleep at night. I got the TV Carl Walden. Gee, but that graveyard is a lonesome place. Lord, that old graveyard is a lonesome place. They put you on your back, throw that mud down in your face. I got to be. Now that's country.
I can't believe he'd sing that about his own death.
Yeah, that's his own eulogy in a song.
Well, one thing about Jimmie is that he sang about ordinary people's
Right.
lives, and I think that's the biggest reason he touched people's hearts.
He had 2 or 3 songs about the TB that he had, did he?
Yeah. One, I think, My Time Ain't Long.
His dad was an engineer and he was a brakeman, and after his dad quit, he quit. He still wouldn't pay for railroad fare. They'd throw him in jail for riding trains. Didn't have no tag.
Jimmie?
Yeah, and my brother stayed all night in jail with him, Wichita, Texas. Wichita Falls, Texas. They had to sleep on the cement floor. They even took their pocket knife. That's when he started riding in that jailhouse now. That was 1933, about a year before he died, 32. He made a hit.
Well, how about doing, what is that one? It's raining here.
Oh, it's yeah. They called that Stormy Weather Blues, but it's Blue Yodel number 5 in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do that in G. Kick it off, called the regular yodel.
Lord, it's raining here, storming on the deep blue sea. Well, it's Lord, it's raining here, storming on the deep blue sea. Ain't no red-headed woman ever made a fool out of me. All of her I was in, but you cleaned to death for. They made him work on it. He did it. If I feel tomorrow, Blue Monday, like I feel today, hey, hey. If I feel tomorrow, like I feel today, I got my suitcase all packed, got my toothbrush, I'm on my way. Lord, it's raining, yeah, storming on the deep blue sea. Lord, it's raining, yeah, storming on the deep blue sea. Ain't no red-headed woman ever made a fool out of me. The old lady, oh, the old lady, oh, the little lady. All the women made a fool out of Lee Dacus.
That's right.
You're gonna be the doghouse of your wife, boy.
Okay, this has been
You're gonna be the doghouse of your wife, boy.
okay. This has been the first half of Now That's Country. You come right back, and we're going to be talking about the music and Jimmie's contribution. Bye. Welcome back to Now That's Country. We've been doing a show honoring the memory and life of Jimmie Rogers, the father of country music, who recorded during the Depression and sold thousands of records. He even made $1,000 a week. And I'm going to ask Carl to begin with the very first song that was his hit. It wasn't his first song recorded, but his first hit song, T for Texas.
T for Texas, okay.
Yeah.
Well, T for Texas, T for Tennessee. T for Texas, T for Tennessee. Yes, T for Thelma, that gal's done made a wreck out of me. I'd rather drink muddy water, sleep in a hollowed log. I'd rather drink muddy water and sleep in a hollowed log than be with you, baby, treated like a dirty dog. Oh, you're the lady, oh lady, oh lady. Well, only get me a pistol, long as I am tall. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a pistol, long as I am tall. And I'm gonna shoot that Thelma just to watch her jump and fall. Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna buy me a shotgun with a bright, shiny barrel. You know what I'm gonna do with that? I'm gonna buy me a shotgun with a long, shiny barrel. And I'm gonna shoot that rounder that stole away my gal. You're the lady, oh lady, oh lady. Yeah, I'm going where the water tastes like cherry wine. I'm going where the water tastes like cherry wine. That's good stuff. Then me in Georgia, where it tastes like turpentine. Got a lot of pine trees. You're the lady, oh lady, oh lady. All right. Thank you.
Well, you've been hearing him play the dobro,
Did
the
you know
guitar, wait a minute, pedal steel, the keyboard. I think he just told me that he can play a jug. Or is that drink out of jug?
Oh, he uses to drink out.
Did you know that
Fiddle, harmonica.
Fiddle,
Just-
harmonica.
just last year, speaking about the blues and rock and roll, did you know Jimmie Rogers was is now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No,
Did y'all know that?
no, I didn't know that.
Just last year, he went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And in 1961, he was the first person to go into the Nashville Country Music Hall of Fame.
Nobody wants to believe it, but he made some Hawaiian songs.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did.
Does anybody know
He played that
anybody
old
do it
wooden-
in
Played
Hawaii?
that old wooden steel
I know
guitar,
that.
you know. The overtime,
Last month
Oh, well,
was Jimmie Rogers' month, you know, he died.
Yeah.
53 years ago, wasn't it, older? 56?
I want to say, besides Carl being a great musician, he's a producer. He produced his own album, Tierra Lady, and many others, and my own, Penelope and a Little Bit of Gold, which is now being played in Prague. And
Where is that at?
7 wives, 11 kids.
Czechoslovakia.
That's easy for you to say.
And can you tell us when you first heard of
Well,
Jimmie Rogers?
I heard, before I heard Jimmie Rogers, I heard my father, and he used to sit around and he used to go.
Right.
Frankie and Johnny. He used to do all of those songs,
right.
you know. And I used to sit around as a kid and listen to these runs and everything. And I just loved them. And he didn't play a lot of guitar, but he did do a couple of songs and everything. And he kind of traveled on the railroad himself, you know.
Yeah.
Not as a brakeman or anything, but more or less kind of on the hobo side, you know.
Your dad was a hobo?
Well, he wasn't exactly a hobo, but in those days,
He knew what it was all about.
everybody was a hobo,
That's
you know.
true. That's very true.
I mean,
Didn't have
if you
bus
wanted to
fare,
get,
so you rode the
yeah, if
freight
you
train.
want to get somewhere, you hopped a freight, because there was no money to be had in a lot of those places. But and then I heard Jimmie Rogers records. I've got quite a collection of Jimmie Rogers records. Otis, if you want to.
Oh, it's right over behind you.
Oh, behind me. They switched chairs. I don't know whether you can get a close-up on that or not, but that is his first record right there. It's on Victor, one with a dog listening to the, what do you call that thing?
Megaphone.
Megaphone, yeah. But,
And
Was-
that's the 78.
that's the 78.
Wasn't that,
yeah,
wasn't that
his very
August the
first.
4th, 1927?
Yeah, he did. He went up to New Jersey. What was happening? Tin Pan Alley was going really big in New York. It was about 10-block section above 34th Street, and everybody was. That was big business. Al Jolson, Eddie Cantor, all of the biggies was up there doing their stuff, and all of a sudden in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the radio stations started a country music, they called them hillbillies back then, hillbilly dance show on the radio. And then pretty soon, WLS in Chicago and a lot of other stations started picking up on it. And there was a big publisher by the name of Ralph Peer. He had Peer Publishing.
International.
Yeah, that's right. And he had a remote that he would take this remote and go down to the hillbilly country, which is rural South, and pick up on singers. And his very first thing he did was go down to Bristol, Tennessee, and advertise. And the first people that showed up was the Carter family, A.P. Carter, you know, that did the Wildwood Flower and so many of those great tunes. In fact, the descendants of the Carter family is like Johnny Cash's wife, you know.
Right.
And the Carters are still heavy in Nashville.
Maybell's his mother-in-law.
Yeah, Maybell. And the other act was Jimmie Rogers, and he did a solo just himself and his guitar, and they did a test record, which was the Sleep Baby Sleep. Yeah.
You know
his
what
first,
one of them was?
what?
Soldier Sweetheart.
Yeah,
was the
right,
name of it.
Soldier Sweetheart. And then a few months later, he went to New Jersey and recorded this one, Way Out on the Mountain, and Blue Yodel. It didn't have a number on it, but I think that's Blue Yodel #1, the one I just did. But there was a amazing story behind him. After he started, there was no stopping. He was just really famous overnight. Had himself a Cadillac, money, and until his health got him. What am I doing?
You're doing One
Oh,
Rose.
I know, the One Rose. There's a lot of songs that he did this is a beautiful ballad that he did.
Could I say something about Carl just a minute?
Sure.
He's always been known in this area as a musician's musician, and he spends half his time in a recording studio or more
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
This song was one of Jimmie Rogers' hit records, and before his death in 1933, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
later on, 1936, Bing Crosby came out and sang the same song and made
Right.
another big hit, The
Right.
One Rose.
That's true.
You're the one rose that's left in my heart, dear. I love you, adore you, I do. Each night in wonder, in dreams, sweetheart, telling love stories anew. Out of the blue skies, a dark cloud came rolling, breaking darling, too. Don't leave me alone, 'cause I love only you. You're the one rose that's left in my heart. You told me who wrote that one, Otis, earlier. The Hawaiian
No,
player.
I did.
You did.
I think
Lanny
that was Lee.
McIntyre.
Lanny McIntyre.
Lanny McIntyre.
I can tell
He
he's got
had
a
a
little
orchestra.
Hawaiian kind of.
He was a Hawaiian guy, played a Hawaiian guitar. He played on a lot of Jimmie's records, about probably 20 of them.
One of these guys don't know about Jimmie Rogers, the other do. That's right.
We fill in the spots.
Yeah, right.
Bing Crosby always got that song, Nobody's Darling But Mine, dude.
I
With
know,
it-
yeah.
That old wooden guitar, had it with had a bar up here like a steel, Hawaiian style.
And a band called the Royal Hawaiian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember them.
Lanny McIntyre and the Royal Hawaiian.
All right.
So how about
Okay, that one.
jail?
in the jailhouse now.
you're
We
right.
we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, right.
If I can remember the words, we'll try.
Do that for our friends up in Ellen.
I had a friend named Ramblin' Bob. He used to steal, gamble, and rob. He said he was the smartest man around. But I found out last Monday Bob got locked up Sunday. They got him in the jailhouse way downtown. He's in the jailhouse now. Help me out. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told him once or twice to quit playing cards and shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. All right.
I think that yodel song.
Well, I went out last Tuesday, met a little gal named Susie. I thought she was the sweetest gal around. But she started into calling me honey, started into spending my money. We made every honky tonk in town. We're in the jailhouse now. We're in the jailhouse now. They told us once or twice to quit playing cards and shooting dice. We're in the jailhouse now.
Hey, now that is
You
country.
guys are supposed to help me with them yodels.
I don't think you did shabby at all.
You don't need no help.
No,
Well,
right,
where
right.
did that yodel come from?
Well, I think it was originated, first thought of from the Swiss yodel. And
They jacked it down, yeah.
he did it his own way. He really invented his own yodel.
He sort of made
A copy from that.
a sad yodel. Would you do,
You know how it was invented,
I
don't
always heard he was walking down the streets of Memphis for the first time when he yodeled, Jimmie Rogers.
you? It was picked up and throwing the voice up again the ice mountains over in Switzerland. That's where it started, and he cut that down into...
Yeah, they echoed out across the canyon
echo.
up in the
Yeah,
Alps.
canyon.
could you do the yodel of, it's in C, the Daddy's yodel? I think that's one of the most
Daddy and
beautiful.
home?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Otis does a real great job on that one.
Do you want to do a verse or whatever?
Yeah, go ahead. C.
Dear old daddy, you shared my sorrow and joy. You tried to bring me up right. I know you'll still be just one of the boys, so I'm starting back home tonight. Your hair has turned to now, I'll say, I long for you and for home. Oh, doodly, oh, daddy, I'll leave lady.
Prettiest.
It is a pretty
And that
one.
was one of Jimmie's favorite songs.
Yeah, right. He was, the reason why I understood he liked it, I understood that he lost his mother at 4 years old. You guys hear about that? And his daddy was a section foreman. And his daddy had to just take Jimmie and raise him. And he just kind of picked on his daddy, so to speak. You know, that was he really loved his daddy very much because he raised him from age 4.
Now, the first time that I heard Lee Dacus, it was on national TV.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of your tapes?
Yeah. No, one of his tapes. Doing Jimmie Rogers runs. And what song are you going to do? When did you first hear Jimmie Rogers?
Oh, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I guess. Back in them days, you know, my dad was a poor dirt farmer, and
I've been there.
they used to hire hard hands, you know, to make a crop. The farmers were single guys, and $6 a month and room and board. You know, they'd make a crop, or sometimes they'd give them 2 acres of cotton, whatever when they picked it, you know, whatever it brought. So I was about 6 or 7, and my dad hired this guy to make a crop, and he came and he brought all his stuff, and he had a little portable, one of those little portable cranking Victrola, I guess they call it, like a suitcase, you know. And he had about 15 or 20 records, and all of them but 2 were Jimmie Rogers, you know. Had those little needles that buy 100 of them for a dime. Every time you play a record, you had to change a needle, you know. So he said, I asked him if I could listen to it, you know, and of course I was fascinated. I'd never even seen a graphophone, you know. And he said, yeah. I said, you can, if you'll be careful with it, you can play it anytime you want to. So they'd all go to the field of work, you know, and I'd get it right down the middle of the floor and sat there and play that thing all day. And there's all Jimmie Rogers, you know, and that's what, first I heard him, and boy, next thing I wanted was a guitar, you know, like everybody else had heard him, you know.
Yeah, right.
So I had a great uncle was a violinist, and he used to come visit us about twice a year. You know, he was always on the road. And he came when I was about 6 or 7. He brought a little banjo ukulele for me and gave it to me and showed me how to tune it. Had 4 strings. Showed me how to make 3 chords. He said, now when I come back, I want you to be able to play that and follow me when I play the violin. So I really worked at it, and I could play Little Brown Jug and a few things when he come back, you know, about a year later. So finally, I still wanted a guitar. So cotton picking time, when everybody made a little money, you know, I got to go to town about twice a year after you pick cotton and got a little money. First place I'd go to the ice cream parlor, of course. I took my banjo. I wanted to get a guitar, and I went to a second-hand store. And the guy only had 1 guitar. He wanted $3 for it. He said, but I'll take $1.50 and your banjo ukulele. The strings were so high you had to put your foot on it and mash them down. But anyhow,
You know, we're getting short on our show, and I want you to do a song, and you got to do your favorite. Which one is your favorite?
anyhow, that's the way I started playing the guitar.
You tried that banjo with that guitar?
Yeah, I traded it,
Yeah.
give him $1 there at the boot.
What's your
I
favorite?
got gypped.
What's your favorite tune?
Okay, all of them my favorite, but
We should have made this a 2-hour special.
let's see, we'll do We'll do a blue yodel number 9, ain't it? The Brakeman's Blues, or please the name of this.
Brakeman Blues is the name of it. I'm
Yeah.
not real sure about what, maybe 9, yes.
Portland, Maine is just the same as Memphis, Tennessee. Portland, Maine is just the same as Memphis, Tennessee. Any place I can hang my hat, that's home sweet home to me. Ole, I went down to the depot, I looked up on the board. Lord, I went to the depot, looked up on that board. Said it's good times right here, but it's better on down the road. I'll have my breakfast here, my dinner down in New Orleans. Lord, Lord, eat my breakfast here, my dinner in New Orleans. Gonna give me a mama, Lord, I ain't never seen. If that's your mama,
Thank you for joining us. Now that's country. See you next time.
if that's your mama, let her tie